What's up, Aquarius? Welcome to your reading for the week of February 28th through March 6th. Hopefully you guys had a great week so far. I'm definitely feeling tired today, so excuse that part of myself. Sleep has been rough the past few days, especially because of the children. They've had some kind of cough and they wake up and just like cough all night long. But more importantly, it's also because of the astrology and what's happening on an emotional level and kind of like tying into the sun. So there's been a lot of restlessness, and I want to go over that a little bit. So what I've been doing this week is incorporating a short few-minute section of an astrology chart reading between the luminaries. If there's any aspects to the sun, the luminaries are the sun and the moon, or any aspects to the moon. These two planets in the astrology chart are going to be the most influential on our overall well-being and personality. So obviously the sun is in Pisces within the tropical chart. And Pisces is more the dreamy, like because it's the sun, it's more outward expression. So you're gonna be a little more into the dreamy and kind of wandering and going into the inner reaches of your mind. And also with it being in Pisces, you know, you might find yourself a little bit more easier to express yourself emotionally. Pisces is a mutable sign, so it definitely likes to be flexible and adaptable. You might find yourself going with the flow a bit more during the season, and kind of looking at things from a higher perspective and higher understanding, because Pisces is definitely connected to a higher source, whatever way that shows up for you. And with the moon being in Sagittarius, the past couple of days there was a square going on with the sun, and that's where that restlessness comes in. Sagittarius is another beautiful sign. It's a fire sign, and it has a lot of restless energy when it doesn't have an outlet to use that energy with. So sleep with it being a square to the sun, and with Pisces ruling over dreams and imagination and kind of like the sleep state, there was a lot of restlessness going on with the sleep. So that was kind of what the energy going on. And the fact that it's technically in a third quarter, or it was in a third quarter moon, moving into the new moon. Third quarter moon is definitely talking about reevaluation, understanding what things need to be let go, and kind of like coming to a deeper understanding of what does need to be let go. The only aspect I really want to mention here with the moon is Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the moon sextiling up to Saturn. Saturn rules discipline, restrictions, but with a sextile, there's definitely going to be an easier flow of expressing yourself emotionally, kind of coming into your own discipline with your emotions, understanding your emotional and fulfilling needs in regards to the sign of Sagittarius. So you may wind up actually doing things that are more expressive within yourself in regards to adventure, setting goals. That's what Sagittarius represents. Because a sextile it's a good aspect. You know, it's more of a free flowing aspect. So there's no hindrances. If it was squaring up to Saturn, it definitely would be kind of hard to have that emotional discipline, and there might be some combativeness going on. So yeah, you know, working on your emotional needs, that's kind of like what Saturn represents. All right, let me pull some cards here, move into the reading. You know, I may or may not continue the astrology readings next week. I like to kind of do different things every week to kind of see where I like to put my energy and time into. So overall essence is the awareness card, which is the equivalent to the magician in traditional tarot. So going into this next week, the energy looks like you're going to be coming into more of a deeper awareness and understanding of how you're going to move forward in life. You know, certain types of information may come to you that gives you proper perspective. You might have some intuitive downloads or something to that effect that's going to create more awareness about the path ahead. And this can represent like a new beginning too, because as you receive new information about where to move forward on, you're definitely going to be more inclined to move forward on that new awareness. So it could represent new beginnings ahead. In the recent past, we have firm foundation and hope. It definitely seems like things were a little bit stable in your past, in the recent past, and you know, you may have felt like you were kind of wanting something new to come in, kind of praying for something new to come in. On the other hand, this card could also represent like if you're having some sort of health issues, You were moving through a time of healing. You may have been divinely guided towards someone or something that kind of helped you gain understanding, on a deeper understanding of how to gain better health, and ultimately just being guided in the right direction, to create more stability in your physical reality, because the firm foundation is about building foundations in whatever way or shape that has a relevance to your life, whether you're working on physical health, eating, or working out, yoga, if you're working on financial or material assets, being guided towards that as well. So something happened that kind of pushes you in the right direction, it seemed like. All right, current energy moving into the next week, we have solitude and love begins. Right, so solitude is, so what this tells me is that moving into the next week and on, you might come into a period where you're gonna feel like wanting to shut people out, to shut the world out in some way, shape, or form, so that you can have more time to yourself. The solitude card is about inner learning. She has this book in front of her, and that could be a literal book that you're reading. You just want to spend more time reading this book. But it also talks about just kind of slowing down a little bit and searching your inner self, becoming more introspective and understanding that understanding more of where your soul wants to take itself and experience. Because what's coming is a new beginning of emotional. Your emotions are going to be overflowing with happiness and joy as you embark on this new endeavor. And that's going to come through you being able to go through a period of solitude and understand more of what you truly want and how to shine yourself from the inside out. And so that's going to help create a new beginning. All right, coming energy, we have heartache and loss and light. So there could be some sort of truth coming out that may be a little bit painful for you to hear or listen to. The light card, because it's the supporting card, not the main card. To me, it's like you are going to experience some sort of stinging heartache or loss. It doesn't have to be like massive despair, but it could just be like you're gonna kind of feel like you've been hit in the chest a little bit. But the thing is like with the light card coming out, you may actually experience some kind of truth or revelation or something that was hidden. Because a light card to me can represent someone like reaching out to information, reaching out to something that may have been kind of hidden to you. The light is shining down. But ultimately, what this card also represents is that, even though you are going to experience something like that, it's going to help bring in more happiness, because you're going to feel more free and light and airy and just kind of more basking in the sunlight, so to speak. So just be mindful of that. I'm kind of curious as to what these cards are going to. Yeah, definitely some. Ooh, definitely a new beginning coming. Yeah, it's going to come in the form of communication. Okay, so over the firm foundation and hope card, we have temperance. So in the recent past, there's definitely a lot of balance and moderation going on here. Let's see here. It definitely can be talking about physical health, because temperance card is a card to me that represents like putting less energy into something else, something that you were kind of diving into too much of, and putting that energy into another thing that you may have been neglecting. So whether it's your health, whether it's your finances, or anything related to the physical reality that may have been kind of unstable, it's definitely saying that you are starting to put more energy or becoming more aware of where you need to put more energy into and kind of back off on something else. Allowing, because she's got these two cups and one's pouring into the other and the other one's pouring into the other cup. So it's about balance and moderation, eating less certain foods, putting more work into your body, putting less time into your job even, and more time into yourself and your family matters. Anything that you've been doing to create more balance in your life, that's what it's talking about. Over the solitude card and love begins, we have the Fool. Yeah, so that's just a double confirmation that there is something new beginning here going into the next week. You're gonna start feeling more fresh energies, and it's like you're becoming more aware of how to move on to that. that's kind of what this is going with. You're soul searching, you're kind of coming into a deeper understanding of where you want to go in life, and it's like now you're going to be embarking on that new journey. So a lot of cool positive energy coming in for you. With the exception of this kind of loss right here, with the Page of Swords over the heartache and loss in the light card, this may actually come through in the form of communication from someone, and that's kind of like what I'm feeling from this. Immediately my thought was like somebody, and it could be someone youthful, someone a little bit younger, because the page definitely represents someone who is young, and a little more possibly even immature. So if you wind up dealing with someone that is that way, it's talking about how what's going to be communicated to you may wind up stinging you a little bit, but it's going to allow something to come to light, and you're going to fully understand how to move forward with it. And like now it's like you can finally be free from this sting. That's an interesting read. That may not resonate for everybody, but it is what it is. Every reading's not going to resonate with everyone. That's the unfortunate truth. And so if the reading does not resonate with you, just, it's not because I'm doing anything wrong. It's just because where you're at in your journey does not resonate with what I'm reading for. But there's a lot of people that are experiencing a lot of similar things right now. So let's see here. Take a moment. Stop. Now is not the time to rush into the decision you are about to make. Before this important decision is made, take a moment to pause and quiet your mind so that you can ask your soul for guidance before you act or move forward. That actually plays off of the Solitude card here. Coming into yourself, stopping and being a little more introspective, because there is an important decision that needs to be made, but you need to take a moment for yourself to fully understand where you want to go with it and how to go about it. That's what that's saying. Take a moment to yourself. Hope. Your loved ones in the spirit world know when to reach out if they see you are at a low point. Whether you are caught up in a difficult situation or struggling with someone specific in your life, there is always hope. Yeah, so it's talking about because you check this out. You got the hope card in the recent past, and you're also receiving a spirit message card for hope. So it definitely seems like, if you don't feel hopeful about a situation playing out, when whatever that is for you, that's saying that there is hope. Like, you are being guided in the right direction. Sometimes we just have to go through certain experiences that are challenging and give us proper perspective about where we actually want to be. So whether you're neglecting a certain aspect of your life, your physical health, whatever it is, that's what it's talking about. It's like whenever you experience something that brings more awareness to the situation, it's like, now I fully understand how to go about this and how I can move forward to have a better, fulfilling lifestyle. And that's what that's saying. There is hope. You are being protected. You're being guided to something so much better. Just heed that guidance and don't procrastinate on it, I guess. Temple of Truth, throat chakra, authenticity, self-expression. Yeah, so what's happening here, what I'm feeling from this is like the floodgates are opening, right? And you're coming more into your authentic self. And that's going to help you be a little more self-expressive. Your throat chakra may actually be, it could have been unbalanced, and it still could be unbalanced, which, you might that represents communication. It deals with like any kind of gland or anything within the throat area. So if you've had any issues in that area, that's what that's representing. But it looks like what's happening is like it's kind of opening up for you, and you're going to be a little more self-expressive. You're going to become more authentic within yourself. And that's what helps you become more self-expressive, right? If you're coming from an authentic version of yourself, and again, Aquarius likes to be that way. Aquarius is bold, they're rebellious, they're unconventional, and if that's your sun sign, that part of yourself shines a little bit easier than other people. But it really also has to take into account your moon sign and how it relates to your sun sign and how you communicate as well. The Venusian Galactic Council, star being guides, answer the call, time to shine. Yeah, so you were definitely being called to something, and it's time to come out of your shell and bask in that light. And that's another thing that we keep getting here is the light of truth. Star being guides is just talking about your spiritual guides, any kind of entity that is kind of helping you along your journey is more prevalent right now than they used to be. Or at least not really used to be, but just they're more prevalent right now because you're going through some pretty good shifts and changes and coming more into yourself. The solitude card talks about meditation as well. And, when you're doing soul searching, you are becoming more authentic because you're understanding more of your own truth and you're able to express that. And what this is saying is like, you need to speak your truth. You need to answer that call, whatever it is you're being called to do, to express yourself authentically, because you need to start shining yourself. We need to stop, like all of us, we need to stop hiding our light. I don't know if you can see this or not. There we go. Kind of blocking the light a little bit. These are light beings here. High vibrational entities that help guide us through life. So it just represents shining your light from within. Stop dimming that side of yourself. Anyway, Aquarius, I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. That does conclude this side of the reading. And yeah, if you found value in it, please like, share, and or subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I'm trying to expand myself. And if you got any comments or questions or concerns, you can go ahead and post that below. And I always get back to people. I do it right away. I'm on my phone a lot, so that's a habit I need to break. But it does help me out with other people and reaching out to them rather than reaching out to me. So yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.